The latest exhibition on display at the Swift Current Museum showcases something we all see, cross, and walk along in our city, the Swift Current Creek. But how much do we really know about its history? Curator of the exhibition The Creek, Stephanie Caduck, dug into the archives to share historical photos and her research about the social and natural history of the creek.
The social history goes all the way back to First Nations presence, and there are a couple of petroglyphs that reflect their location along here. This region was one of the last regions where there were bison, so it was actually a hotly contested region among First Nations.
Flowing north from Cypress Hills, 160 kilometers to the South Saskatchewan River, the creek was the water source that brought life to our community.
The train arrived here in 1883, and that is how the community was built. The train required water for the steam engines, and so they made Swift Current a divisional point. So the first people who lived here after First Nations were CPR workers. In 1885, Swift Current was a very busy place. During the 1885 resistance, the Dominion government sent militia to Saskatchewan, and the train arrived in Swift Current, which was the terminus of the Battleford Trail, which would have been the route up north.
The creek was also a great source of business, from slaughterhouses that set up shop along the creek to cutting ice from the creek in the winter for ice boxes before there was electricity. While there was businesses, there was also fun, and the creek was also used for recreational purposes.
As early as 1910, there was a beach in Elmwood Park with change houses and swimming lessons, and people continued to swim in the creek until pools were built in the 1970s.
The exhibition also showcases the natural history of the creek, from the beavers and muskrats that call the creek their home to the many plants that grow along the water's edge and in the marsh areas.
Some of the birds that live along the creek actually live right in the reeds on the side of the creek.
Caduck says people's reactions have varied to the exhibition depending on where they are from and their own memories from growing up in the area.
People who are from somewhere else are interested because they wonder why the city is called Swift Current, and that comes from the Métis Rivière au Courant. It is, you know, a feature of the city, and so they're interested.
While the function of the creek may have altered, it still continues to be a major feature in our city. For Go, I'm Juanita Tunland.